Hey, this is Dr. Scott Watson with a brief Finale tutorial. In this one, we're going to show you how to have slash notation and regular notation in the same measure. So like in a lead sheet where you might want to have the slash notation showing that you're maybe strumming a chord or comping a chord, but then you also want to have some melodic material or a bass line or something in the same measure, right? So we're gonna, you can see the example here. I have whole rests in layer 1. That's to show where we're gonna have the slashes. And then I have a little in the red layer 2, I have sort of our lead line that we want to coexist with those slashes. So we'll choose the staff tool, go up to the staff menu and say define staff styles. We're going to start with the slash notation. That's the basis of what we're going to do. However, under alternate notation, we're going to say that in when we have slash notation, layer 1 we want the slashes, but in layer 2 or the other layers, we want to actually have the notes show. So that's one part of this definition. Then the other thing is under staff, we're going to choose other. Instead of a 5-line staff or a 1-line, we're going to choose other. And we're not going to change anything except for this stem reversal number. What that does is the stem reversal is like whether, notes on the middle line, stem up, stem down, that kind of thing. It's the number the stem reversal number that also corresponds to where the slashes are. So if we want the slashes to be higher, we change it to -2 instead of -4. That's just, for instance, you might want to experiment with that number, but I'm going to use -2 and say OK. All right, so the two things I changed, right? Number one is that in alternate notation, I said I do want to show the notes in the other layers. And in staff other, I went to -2 instead of -4 for that stem reversal number. Otherwise, I'm going to keep it the same. Let's give it a name. Let's call this higher slashes. That'll be the name of this new staff style and say OK. All right, now I'm going to, with the staff tool, select these two measures, and instead of define, I'm going to say apply staff style to score and parts. And we're going to choose our higher slashes and say OK. And now we have the slashes, and they're a little bit higher, right? They're not centered in the middle of the measure, and we have our notation underneath it. So you can experiment with the settings for that. That's something you might want to play around with, but this is how you can have slash notation and regular notation coexist in the same measures. Hope this is helpful. This is Dr. Scott Watson reminding you that with Finale, just about anything is possible.